Alright guys, so today we are doing a catch and cook. So we're coming out here to the saltwater flats to try and catch anything that'll bite. Now the first keeper we catch is what we're going to bring home. So we're starting off with a spook. So a spook is a really good search bait. I like to use it as a search bait because you can find a lot of fish with this lure. You might not always catch these fish, but they will show themselves. They'll come and chase it, they'll wake it, they may even miss it if they try to hit it. But a lot of times you can find fish with this lure. Come on, hit it. Must be trout. There we go. There we go. It's trout. We got a trout. All right, so skunk is out of the boat. Woo! And so is the fish. It's a 13-inch trout. So I kept throwing the top water with no luck, so I switched over to an underspin with a down south lure on it. So this is a owner underspin, so it's weedless and it's got that nice shiny blade on there to attract the fish. Let's see what we catch. I noticed some trout break the surface, so I tried to get my lure to do the same. Go. Out of nowhere, a redfish came and smoked it. Good job. That was a cool eat. That was a cool eat. That was a freaking cool eat. There we go. Yes. That's a slot for sure. Look at the net. Ugh. We got him. Woo-hoo-hoo. We got him. Check this out. We got a beautiful slot red. I already put him on the stringer because I did not want to lose this fish. I forgot my fish grip. But check this out. This is probably about a 23-inch redfish. He is gonna go home and be dinner. So this will be a catch and cook. And what we got that red to eat on was a underspin. This is a twist lock underspin with a down south lure. Check that little dude out. Chartreuse tail, got the job done. I'm going to show everything because YouTube does not like it when you show blood and gut. Whenever you do a half shell, all we're going to do is we're going to cut it like we would fillet it, but we're going to leave the skin off. I'm going to spray that off with a water hose, make sure that water is cool, and I'm actually going to vacuum seal mine and put it in the freezer overnight. Now, you don't have to do this, but I recommend you at least get it pretty close to freezing temps, and that is to kill any parasites that might be in the fish. So I'm going to freeze this overnight and we're going to cook it the next day. Let's go. So we're going to take this redfish and we're going to cook it on the half shell. This is one of the easiest ways to cook a redfish and a very easy way to prepare them as well. Now we're going to take that half shell and turn this into fish tacos. This is a really easy recipe that looks great. So if you're trying to impress a date or you want people to think you know how to cook, this is the way to go. Now let's get into it. Alright, so we got our ingredients here. Just imagine that Miracle Whip is mayonnaise. That's the only thing I messed up on, and I changed that out later when I realized my mistake. So we got redfish, pico de gallo, red cabbage, cilantro, tortilla, lemon juice, garlic powder, and mayonnaise. So we're going to take the red cabbage and we're going to cut that in half. Looks like Thanos' nutsack. And then we're going to take that half and cut it in half. Now you're going to take your quarter of red cabbage and we're going to slice this up. Now break this apart with your hands Falls apart real easy. And good red cabbage should be nice and crunchy. Then we're going to chop that into a little bit smaller pieces. Alright, we have defrosted our fish. We're going to rinse it off. Now we're using blackened redfish seasoning. Doesn't matter which one you use. Now we're going to use Zatarain's today. Now remember, here's a big tip. You are seasoning the fish for both sides. So put a generous amount on the fish. You have to remember you can't get to both sides, so this has to be enough flavor to reach both sides of the fish. Make sure you do the same to the other side. Now we got the mayonnaise. This is what I should have had originally. So you're going to spray a little bit into a bowl so that we can mix up some garlic aioli. So this is the money maker. This seems fancy. Everyone's going to love this. All it is mayonnaise, garlic salt, lemon juice, and a little bit of water. That's all it takes. And so all you have to do is just mix this to taste. I don't even like mayonnaise, but this is fantastic, and I put it on everything. So just taste it and make sure that you have a little bit of lemon juice. This little bit of lemon juice gives it enough contrast. It gives it that little zest. All you need is about a teaspoon's worth, and it changes the flavor profile tremendously. Again, just mix that to taste. If you want it to be a little bit more pungent on the garlic, you can add more or less. Now, once you get this paste stirred up pretty well, we're going to dilute it with some water. We're going to thin it out. Trust me, it may not seem like much, but people are going to be like, oh my gosh, tell me how you make your fancy garlic sauce. And you just never tell them. So you set your grill to 300 degrees. We're going to be using a pellet grill today. If you're not using a pellet grill, just whatever grill you got, get it up to 300. Now we're going to put this scale side down directly over the flame. We're going to let this sit on the grill for about 15 to 20 minutes. And when you know it's done, you'll see the meat start to crack, and it should be white and flaky all the way through and just fall right off the skin. But when it starts to get those cracks all the way through it, that's when you know it's done. Take them off the grill. Push all that shit out the way. Get out of here. Now look at how this just burst into pieces. It just crumbles right off the shell. So now you just scoop it directly off the skin, and we're going to take this and we're going to chop it up on the tortilla. Now, one reason to chop it up is so that you can see if there's any bones you might have missed during the filleting process. All right, let's get the veggies ready. Get out of that trigger. So we're going to throw on the red cabbage. Then we're going to grab the cilantro. And we're going to freshly cut that directly onto the tacos. Then we're going to get that crumbled cheese, and you're just going to crumble it directly onto the taco. So this stuff is awesome. This is my favorite cheese to use for tacos. Not only does it taste amazing, it looks really nice on the taco as well.
The cheese tax, the cheese tax. You gotta pay the cheese tax every time you cook.
Now we get our garlic sauce, our garlic aioli, and you drizzle that over the taco. Boom. Look how good those look. Look how good these tacos look. Now, of course, you can add the pico on top of this as well.